Hello?
Yes, hello. May I speak to David or Amber, please?
This is Amber.
Good morning, Amber. This is Dick Button. I'm the Director of Child Development over at Primary. How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
Just fine. So listen, I was asked to call you about Hunter. So there's been a bit of an issue.
Oh, jeez. Is he okay?
He's fine. He's just fine. The reason I'm calling is because of a major protocol violation he committed during third period today.
Okay.
So, on a typical day, third period serves as PE block for the children. But if the weather doesn't cooperate, it's basically a free period for study or socializing before lunch. Well, today we didn't get the kids outside, so we let them have free time. That was when Mrs. Franklin found Hunter conducting some sort of football gambling circle with about 7 other boys.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So, anyway, we asked him what he was doing, and he said it was some sort of make-believe football party. Does that make any sense? He said his father showed him how to do it, but I couldn't figure out what he meant by make-believe football. I think that was the term he used.
Was it fantasy football?
Yeah, that was it, indeed. Fantasy football. Sorry, I'm not into sports except for pickleball and ice dancing. But yes, fantasy football. So he said he was having a fantasy football party. Do you know about this?
His father had one last weekend at our house and let him watch. I told him it was a bad idea. I'm so sorry.
Well, yes, I understand. So anyway, I'm afraid we're going to need to schedule a meeting with yourself and your husband to discuss the terms of Hunter's expulsion from school.
Expulsion?
Yes, ma'am. I'm afraid under school district guidelines, this fantasy football thing falls under the category of gambling, which, as I'm sure you know, is a major violation of the school code of conduct.
Okay, but clearly this was a pretend thing. They're not actually gambling anything. That's why it's called fantasy football.
Oh, no, ma'am. I beg to differ. Hunter had organized quite a setup for himself. In fact, when I asked him about it, he had close to $500 in cash on him for his little gambling ring.
My son had $500 of cash on him?
Yes, ma'am. And when I asked where he got it from, he said nobody joins my league for free. That's when I explained to him that what he was doing was illegal. And he handed me $100 bill and said, let's just keep this between us, and attempted to go back to his class. So you see, ma'am, at this point, expulsion is most definitely called for under normal policy.
So you're going to expel my son for starting a fantasy football league?
Well, that was our first thought, yes, but perhaps we can work out some kind of arrangement instead.
Okay, what would that involve?
Well, ma'am, if you promise to let Hunter listen to the Z Morning Zoo radio show on Z104 this Friday morning so he can hear his mom get phone scammed, then I promise you we'll let him off the hook.
If I promise to what?
Amber, this isn't Hunter's school. This is actually the Z Morning Zoo on Z104. Your husband asked us to phone scam you.
Oh, my God. Wait, so my son isn't in trouble?
I mean, no, not that we know of. No, I think your husband wanted to end the whole fantasy football argument in your house. That's all.
Yeah, well, he's got a whole new argument coming when he gets home.